Now what we've got here is a typical apple tree, the sort of tree you would buy from a garden centre or a nurseryman in a large container, a young tree. This is trained initially as an open centre bush tree. It's been stopped at about 2'6" and it's produced a series of branches. What do we know about it? What do we do with it? If I look down here, this bit is the rootstock, and we always need to keep that above the ground. This is the variety that's been grafted onto the rootstock, but it's the rootstock that controls the vigour of the tree. This is a semi-dwarfing rootstock, so we're not going to get an overlarge tree, but we're going to get a tree that's going to give us early fruit within the first 3 years. It'll be fully cropping by year 8, 9 and 10. But what we need to do in this early stage is to prune these branches to encourage the right branch framework on which we can carry a good load of fruit in a few years' time. Now when I look at this, it needs to be open centered, a goblet shape, and here in the middle we've got a very upright shoot coming in here, and I think we need to take that out. So I'm going to cut that out like that. Now we've opened the centre up. We're looking for about 3 to 5 branches evenly spaced around the main trunk of the tree. We've got 2 branches here which are too close together. I think we're going to keep this one, and so we need to take this one out here as close up to the main trunk as we can. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches. Now that's quite okay. But what we need to do is to encourage these branches to grow in the direction in which they're pointing, or try and correct the direction a little bit. Now with this one here, I'm not too keen initially on this branch coming out at the side, so I'm going to take it off completely. And then I'm going to leader tip this shoot here by about half. Let's take a point above the bud and take a cut and remove the branch. That now is going to stimulate that bud to grow with more vigour in the direction of the way it's pointing. And now I'm going to do the same with this branch here, but it's a slightly weaker branch, so I'm going to prune it back a little bit harder to this bud here. And now we're looking at this one. Now because this is growing upright and nearer to that one, I'm going to cut that bit out in favour of this slightly weaker shoot. And then I'm going to leader tip this shoot back quite hard to a low bud down here. Turning it round again. This one is nicely placed, fairly weak shoot. I'm going to prune it fairly hard back to encourage more vigour. Turning this around, I'm going to leader tip this again about halfway down, like that. And now we've leader tipped the plant, we're encouraging growth to develop the branches in the right direction. Everything's done, let's get the tree planted.